Hello, everyone. Number 6 of my 12 different lifetimes that I am examining and alchemizing. Today, Gamila, woman, hate of men, victim. He's done it, bought and sold like one of his camels. I am a commodity to be used and discarded. Father knows I hate this future husband of mine almost as much as I hate him. Cruelty flows through these men, and they seek no existence but to promote their own selfish, base needs. They know what is thought of them. They simply do not care. All others are irrelevant. The fire burns in us both, and when our eyes meet, the heat encompasses all it surrounds. The servants have learned to scurry away quickly. No one wants backlash from this fire. It has become a contest between my father and I, and now he has made sure it will continue. I can see the gleam of victory shining bright throughout my wedding ceremony. All this fuss to cremate the sanctity of marriage. After years of forced consummation, my husband may have finally given up. Word at the palace is a new girl has caught his attention, and I am grateful. I have succeeded in only one thing in my life, to shame my father and my husband with no offspring. It is only right, for a child of ours would live confused and abused. My anger burns too bright to be able to love a child from that man. And now that the bloom of my youth has passed and I am no longer desirable, I have been put out to pasture, and I find the open space and fresh green grasses helping me to breathe deeper. I began leaving my restricted gilded cage and moved among our people for the first time in my life. I have seen so much of the destruction my husband inflicts on his people, and I am ashamed. There is little I can do, but I give in small ways, and there has been a change in the way the servants look at me. The lines of pain on my face are etched deep, but there is a softening now that the threat is over. I have met a man and shared my body with him, experiencing lovemaking for the first time. I had no idea there was more than rutting like a ram. We have conceived a child, and my joy turns quickly to fear. My husband will know when I begin to show. I am careful not to eat too much and grow too quickly. There is small fluttering movements happening inside me, and I feel life flowing in me like never before. Many days I sit and dream in my small garden, hoping I can meet this precious baby of ours. I heard the crash in the hall before my door slammed against the wall from the force of my husband's entry. Behind him, 2 guards, forcing my lover to follow. One look at me and his fire explodes. Pulling his knife from its sheath, he slices the throat of my lover in one smooth stroke. He lays the bloody, golden, bejeweled destroyer carefully on a table and turns towards me. Walking steadily, he smiles his pleasure in seeing my pain. Then he uses his fists on my belly. Even after I am laid out on the floor, one last kick of his boot to ensure miscarriage. He picks up his knife and walks away. Though we are married another 10 years, we never see each other again. I am restricted to my quarters. I receive compassion from the servants, but it was a long journey to recovery. 2 years have passed, and my body has become an empty shell, hollow and aching. I sit and wait to die, while the fire of hate burns bright. It has come to my attention that a young servant girl is with child. She is not yet to the age of safe childbirth. In her last months, I sent her to her room to rest, hoping it might help. She is a sweet girl, and I have come to like her kind ways. We have spoken a number of times, unusual for me, and so my attention to her needs was noticed. When her time came, I was told of her difficulties and went to assist. Sitting in a chair next to the bed, I encouraged her through the final hours. A lovely, perfectly formed girl was placed in my arms in the quiet hours of deep night as her mother drifted away into death. I took that child to my quarters and became a mother. I felt fondness instantly for this new life. Feeling hope, I slept soundly for the first time in 2 years. Each and every day has become such a delight. I am catapulted back into the living. I have a mother's ear always tuned to the sound of my child. The servants are pleased with me, and I have never had such kind attention. Life was something worth living for. News of the child never reached the ears of my husband. As time passed, I began to relax and enjoy all the stages of her development. Little Margot was 7 when my father passed. The inner pressure eased a bit when I heard the news. A small space around my heart opened up, and a deeper breath was possible. It felt like a miracle when I heard the news of my husband's passing 8 months later. An ambush took every life on the caravan. Although in poor taste, to some my laughter and smiles could not be suppressed. The whole compound felt lighter. I was free for the very first time in my life. I move freely through the village now. I have started a program to help our people in need. Never will a young woman go without care when she has been used and discarded by these selfish men. 2 years with no man controlling my life was all I got. I am grateful that I did know something new and wonderful. Too many years of hating father and husband to have a body that is well. I have taught my daughter as much as I can. A lovely couple in the village can have no children. They are good people and will raise her well. She has been my blessing every day that we shared in these 10 years of motherhood. In these short 2 years of freedom from a man, I have helped many in need. I have found a peace that I did not know existed. I look at the potential of life and love. It is inspiring, and I can see no reason worth denying this existence. Greed and hate have ruined my world, and it is the men who force this existence on the rest. I have been a victim to my father and husband and placed all men in a category. I know now that women can be as horrible as men. I was. I mistreated others as well. So the choice is individual, and we all must make it. What do you choose every day? When things go wrong, does anger or anxiety overtake you and control of self is lost? Do you hide from life in fear because of the pain to confront? Do you smile with a heart tuned to love, or do you frown from the pain of living? It is quite simple in the end when we look honestly at things. What do you choose? Reaction or response? If it is not love, it is some form of fear. My hate was fear, and until love showed me a different way, I was truly lost. Are you lost? The gathering room. Camilla. Camilla took form and blended herself into the oneness that was the gathering room. I was struck by how much ease was allowed by all who had gathered. The resistance to the unknown that she was used to was not present here. They all knew individually what was going on, choose to belong, and be a part. The complications disappeared and harmony prevailed. What a lesson in itself to see how things worked when resistance from fear was not a part of it. I know this hate of the opposite sex. It is so unfair yet so real it cannot be denied. I am truly glad to no longer reside there. But here once again it is the treatment of the child that turns an adult into a blinded, unbalanced bully. I know her pain. I see how I brought it forward as one of my lessons. That one has been a tough one to surmount. I solemnly express. And yet you did, Raziel responds. Yes, I did, I return with a radiant smile. Shall we move on to the next one? As you wish. Raziel sweeps his hand through the air, and the screen begins a story. Another one of my stories.